It's like a fucking...
It's a problem if you have a gut.
That's a first world problem.
Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zakk.
I'm Shane.
We're back with the Book of Boba Fett. We're on season 1, only season.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
Yeah. And I think there's only 6 episodes. So we're about done. Yeah, I'm really liking this show so far quite a bit, especially just all the stuff it's given me.
I just like Tamura Morrison. And I love that they gave me Danny Trejo and Stephen Root.
Yeah.
And
everything in between. Ask for?
I can ignore the rest of that shit if I have actors that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Because at least they're trying.
Yeah.
You know, the writers might be faltering in some places, like that speeder.
Oh, there's no writing. That was like the person who's in charge of that set. I don't know.
Well, you're right, because the writers probably just said, hey, we need a speeder bike chase.
Yeah. So I'm sure in the editing room, when they're cutting that thing up, they're like, oh, shit. So they're doing, let's cut it, you know, because I noticed when I was editing it, there wasn't long sequences when they were driving.
Yeah.
It would cut, and then it'd be a turn. The turn would be intense. And then I'm thinking, you know that part where she stopped?
No.
Like, we got to speed that thing up. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, the mod shop, you told me, pre-discussion, the mod shop doc.
Yeah, he's like a famous
prominent DJ.
He's a prominent DJ or some kind of musician in the LA scene, and
that's cool. I wouldn't know.
I didn't know anything about that.
I wish I could know shit like that, but I'm very limited on my scope.
I was told that as well. I was also told, I don't know how we didn't catch this. I think during the reaction, I give a funny look, but I didn't say anything. At the end, when they say we need higher muscle, it plays the Mandalorian theme, theme, like the ooh, and we didn't say anything. But I went
like Mando.
Yeah, but I went. So, people are speculating that Mando's going to show up. Which
could just be him reaching out to him.
Yeah, just for...
Well, no, this is after the fact, isn't it?
At this point now...
Yeah, it's after that.
Now
it's after the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because, no, it's at the point where he took Jabba's throne.
Yeah.
So, that in the very beginning of this series, in terms of where it all starts compared to his flashbacks, we can disregard them in that setting. This show takes place after the fact.
Yes.
We have Mr. Black, the... Wookiee.
Oh yeah.
Knuckle dusting motherfucker.
Black Chrysanthemum. Oh my god! I don't know. I always fuck this up.
It always reminds me of Chrysanthemum. So I just know.
Black Chrysanthemum. Every time you say that, it makes you remember. Black Cur. Like I always think of Gur. Black Chrysanthemum.
So Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, Black Chrysanthemum.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
So old Black Chrysanthemum. Yeah. He's in there with his brass knuckles with the goddamn electricity.
And he's beating down his Trandoshans because of his history with them.
Yeah, ripped arms off.
Even though those Trandoshans were like... They look
unaware and probably oblivious to what's going on.
They were just a bunch of rich dudes. Yeah.
So,
but no, it was good. Wasn't my favorite, but it was good. And I did really appreciate the flashbacks, in particular that episode as well.
I'm okay with how the series is being ran. It is kind of slow compared to if you're like Mandalorian or anything like that.
I think Mandalorian's better, but I like this, and they're sharing a universe.
This is more like a Mandalorian, not exactly like it, but if I'm going to make a comparison from movie to movie, Mandalorian's more like Gangs of New York, and this is more like There Will Be Blood. Like, this is more like a character study.
Yeah.
And the other one's more like the action and this other shit. So, action versus development.
Yeah.
Because you've never really had Boba Fett developed before in terms of cinematic or television.
All the old developments are...
Well, it's all comics, too, and books. It's all literary.
Yeah, and most of the old shit's... I mean, that's all gone. So this is all we have now for development.
Yeah, and that's...
And I like it. Yeah. I don't got anything else to you.
I don't know, let's go.
Okay. Guys, we'll start. Hey, it's like your old
butcher shop.
Old Roger Arnold. If I worked a place like this in the Star Wars universe.
Maybe the guy knew what he was doing and cussing everybody out about how fucking terrible they're doing. This is the cleanest book.
Dank fucking ferret.
Look. Fuck!
It's him!
Fuck!
It's lovely. He's got his
spear, his Beskar spear.
I'm here for Kaba Baez.
What makes you think he's here? What do you want of him? If I see him, I'll let him know.
I see him right now.
That's not me. That doesn't even look like me.
I'm gonna give the rest of you the opportunity to walk out that door.
They're not going anywhere. Looks to me like you're surrounded. But you look like the practical type. Let's discuss our options.
I can bring you in warm,
Oh.
or I can bring you in cold.
Hey!
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Can't believe they did that in Disney.
He goes out carrying his head.
You think they'll show that?
It was an ugly pug dog looking motherfucker's head, so maybe.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, okay. It's fine with
That's
me.
pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like Return of the King. J.R.R. Tolkien and his fucking publishers that made him publish it that way. It's like, it gives away the ending! There's some Gundam shit.
Yeah, it's like a Gundam colony, or, yeah.
Gundam started it, man.
Yeah.
Don't give credit to anybody.
Now, I was thinking of Elysium, but, you know, Gundam has started it for sure.
Hell yeah, they did.
Elysium's a sweet movie, though. So you just went back to bounty hunting.
That was a earned paycheck.
Yeah.
Gotta pay them bills, man. That was like some asshole that wouldn't pay the bounty.
Information you promised.
It's been one shot. This fucking wound is open. Clouds.
Like the Star Wars imagery that's been lacking. It's the armor.
Oh, it is.
Hey, he's a big guy.
It's a Vizsla. It's a descendant of Pre-Vizsla from the Clone Wars.
There are 3 of us now.
What do you know of this blade?
I am told it is the dark saber.
Do you understand its significance?
Whoever wields it can lead all of Mandalore.
If it is won by Creed in battle,
That's cool.
it is said it was forged over 1,000 years ago by the Mandalore Tar Vizsla. He was both Mandalorian and Jedi.
What are you gonna do, Lego man?
He looks like
He looks cool, but he looks
he looks like childish.
like an alpha version of.
Bo-Katan is a cautionary tale. She once laid claim to rule Mandalore based purely on blood and the sword you now possess. But it was gifted to her and not won by Creed. We would have not survived the Great Purge.
Big Purge of Siege of Mandalore. We'll get to that with Clone Wars. It's much later though. It's very cool.
Those born of Mandalore strayed away from the path. Eventually, the Imperial interlopers destroyed all that we knew and loved.
It sounds like they kicked your ass.
That's like lifted from animation. It's so cool. It's like
Some Terminator.
It's like Terminator. There's our the H.
Yeah, it's in
H. Yeah.
the fourth.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
K2SO.
What shall I forge?
Something for a foundling.
This is the way.
When you start just saying that, like you don't have anything to say. This is the way.
He's no longer in your care. He's with his own kind now.
I want to see him. Make sure he's safe.
In order to master the ways of the Force, Jedi must forego all attachment.
That is the opposite of our creed. Loyalty and solidarity are the way.
What shall I forge for the foundling?
She's gonna say it again.
Grogu?
This is the way. Just listen to these women talk. Listen to this woman talk and forge
It reminds
things.
me of Kate Blanchett. Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
When she's
okay.
doing his opening speech.
Yeah.
Legend became you. And that which should not be forgotten was lost.
I think it's like a chainmail.
Little chainmail shirt.
Yeah.
Like a mithril.
That'd be great if it's like a Piccolo Gohan relationship later on.
Yeah.
Not just with a little Mandalorian helmet. That'd be so fucking cool. He's got
His
lights.
ears would be sticking out of it though.
Yeah.
Solus. Pure.
It's like
You are fighting against the blade.
It gets heavier with each move.
That is because you are fighting against the blade. You should be fighting against your opponent. Stand up.
literally heavy. It's definitely different than lightsaber, even though it is a lightsaber.
Ta!
Maybe the dark saber belongs in someone else's hands.
You knew, didn't you?
Yeah, of course I fucking knew.
And now I will win it from you.
Do you agree to this duel, Din Djarin?
I do.
Fire blade.
Dude, there's like 3 of you left, man.
Obviously, he's a very sensitive big man.
Fate has brought this blade back to my clan, and our fate will end yours!
It is done. Visla, have you ever removed your helmet?
No,
This is the way.
this is the way.
Din Djarin, have you ever removed your helmet? Have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
I beg you for your forgiveness. How can I atone?
Leave, apostate.
According to Creed, one may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore.
But the mines have all been destroyed.
This is the way.
I'm sorry, sir. You can't board a commercial flight with your weapons. If you wish to discuss this with my supervisor, I will gladly book you on tomorrow's flight.
Fine.
He's like flying commercial now because he has to. I forgot. Yeah, that. Kind of weird.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Unspools it in there.
Why do you gotta take that out?
That's just foreboding.
I
Yeah.
know everything that's in there.
Proceed.
I love the look of that, man.
It's just great. It's it's everything I needed from a Star Wars movie.
Basically on flying this commercial flight, or he's like on a bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
A Greyhound.
Yeah. I always hated their fingers, dude. It's like a little kid, right? Yeah. I was yawning, but it's like the ears. It kind of looked like Baby Yoda. Grogu. Oh, that's the thing that
They got him. Whatchamacallits.
yeah,
Came
the
out.
pike.
Yeah. Flying commercial. First class.
Yeah, it's about why they flying commercial.
Fucking saber's gone. No, there it is. Okay, good. I'm like, God damn it! That's cool.
Hey, he's from Jedi Fallen Order. The model. No, it can't be the same one.
No, please.
Dude.
Just blasting shit.
No. You can't say no, you're a droid. What is this, a democracy all of a sudden? R5? Right, thought so.
Pit droids in R4.
Maybe around...
Shoot hard! Shoot hard!
You found me a replacement for the Razor Crest.
Yeah, that's right, that's what I I said. That's what I do. I've been working my butt off. Yeah. Just bring the cash.
It's right here.
Mind if I count it? Not that I don't trust you. Just want to make sure you don't give me too much. Hey, droids, make yourself useful.
Remember, he gave her a generous tip last
And
time.
fire up the grill before that thing gets gamey. Right this way.
Oh, yeah.
I returned him to his own kind.
Why the hell would you do that? I could have made good money off that thing. Open a petting zoo.
By the looks of it. Wow. It's fucking...
Where's the race
B1?
cars?
No, it's...
This is an N1 starfighter,
N1.
handmade for the Royal Guard and commissioned personally by the Queen of Naboo. You want your credits back?
Yes.
No skin off my dip swap. Droids? Clearly you can see I've got all the parts right here.
You want to toss him on the ground, woman? How would he haul bounties?
Because this baby's pre-empire, she's off the grid.
Well, they're. I think they have two people, but I don't think you can't freeze with carbonite or
No,
anything.
you can't.
No, a little higher.
A little higher.
A little higher. Just a little higher.
Just focus right here. Yes. Yes.
They need to make an actual good figure of that little
I
droid.
found you a
They might have one. I don't
Reminds
know.
me of the leg.
You're gonna be the fastest ship on the outer
Like the
rim.
engineering and design of the legs remind me of Ed from RoboCop.
If I give them a list of parts, could they get them for me?
They said make a wish list and they'll see what's available. And I'm gonna make it work, all right? I dated a Jawa. I know what I'm doing.
Why would you date a Jawa?
Oh, that's okay. I'm working on me right now. Just go find the parts.
I'm working on me right now.
It's the one with a hole on the end that curves this way.
God, her voice sounds so familiar.
Princess
Princess Caroline.
Build me a ship.
That's who this woman sounds like.
You know, I never went anywhere. Look how good I got.
She does.
You know, I've never even been off-world.
I'll write that down, maybe. Sounds a lot like her.
Hell, I know.
Easier switch right here. You hit this button, you're gonna evacuate your exhaust
This is the kind of Star Wars I need. This entire episode. There's a toggle switch underneath that cover so you don't accidentally hit it.
Yeah.
Set that open.
We got Tatooine from the old trilogy. We got this N1 from the prequel trilogy. We have the Darksaber from Clone Wars. And we got the BD unit from the video game. We got all Star Wars here. It's great.
And just the entire setting itself is what's great about it. I love those blasters, fucking cannons on the front. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking sweet.
It looks great. It looks great.
What
Yeah.
happened to the droid port?
customers.
Got the pod racer effect.
Well, it's got that muscle car look at the engine sticking out of the
Yeah.
fucking intake manifold.
Shouldn't we run a diagnostic first?
Nah, I can hear her. She's purring.
I couldn't take anything into the vacuum of space unless I knew it was going to work. It's not like you break down the side of the road. It looks great.
Hell yeah, it does. I just said it was like a model of this thing. The other thing looks fucking slick.
Dude,
They're pod race.
it's a pod race place. Like Beggar's Canyon, not Beggar's Canyon, is it? But
No, that was like episode 4. Wasn't it?
yeah.
Dang,
That's-
there, she's fast. There's a gong skunk jack.
Yeah.
That is tight.
Yeah, this is definitely episode 1 pod race.
Hell yeah, dude. Nostalgia with style.
Hey, Razor Crest is back.
Hell yeah, it was.
That's the ramp.
Absolutely brilliant.
Hey, kid's back.
You're not allowed to fly that fast next to a commercial ship.
You're also operating without a beacon. I'm gonna need you to run one for us.
I think we can let him off with a warning this time. Thank you, officer.
I'll have that taken care of.
One thing before you go.
Yes?
Your voice is mighty familiar. Did you used to fly a Razor Crest?
I think you have the wrong guy, officer.
They remember him. I mean, yeah, obviously.
How did it jump?
It didn't power up his hyperdrives.
Didn't jump, kid. Those were his sublight thrusters.
There's no trace on our sensors.
You want to go back to base? Fill out reports all day?
Fuck.
No, sir.
That's great.
Oh yeah, it was. Those are the good kind of cops.
Yeah.
The understanding kind of cops.
Yeah.
Well, how was it?
Wizard.
Ugh.
By any chance, are you looking for work?
Might could be.
Ugh. Put them together again.
I gotta pay a visit to a little friend.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Guys, that was a reaction. This is our discussion.
That was everything I would need from Star Wars ever, and I could like shut it down.
This was a fantastic episode, and
It was. The imagery was brilliant. It's everything you needed from the old trilogy, updated
yeah,
and retrofitted into.
yeah. They have prequel trilogy. They have video games. They have the animated show with the Darksaber. They literally have everything because this is one big universe. And I know
It really reminded me of KOTOR in the beginning when he was walking around on, I can't remember what it's called now, but kept calling it the Gundam thing.
yeah,
And the way it imitates gravity through its motion.
like the colonies that they're in
like
space.
the universe, the colonies in space and Gundam.
Yeah.
See. So, really reminded me of KOTOR there for some reason when he's going into that little bar. Or,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
and we had
brilliant imagery.
We had the butcher shop in the beginning, and we
Yeah.
had the great fight when he chopped the guy in half with the Darksaber.
That was cool.
So he's using the Darksaber. He didn't get it back to Bo-Katan. He's not very efficient with it.
Yeah, I still don't like the weight. How they're saying, oh, this laser sword has weight.
Well,
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they can come up with some reasons to explain it. So until I get those,
yeah.
I do not like it.
What was weird is like there was fantastical elements to it because the lightsaber doesn't have that stuff. Like there's weight to a lightsaber, but not like that. The big guy was struggling.
I know
picking it
they're
up.
making an effort to show that it's not just Mando.
So it's like Arthurian almost. Like where
Yeah,
like, if
where
you didn't
the
have
woman
it,
wield the
like,
sword. Yeah.
like Excalibur, if it wasn't the right person, it'd be a
you
weight
could
to it.
draw from the stone.
But no, that was just, I don't want to gloss over it. It was an awesome scene. It was gruesome.
The fucking his little tribe of Mandalorians are a bunch of goddamn Pharisee zealots.
Well, they're zealots because that's what
Pharisees.
What is that?
Strictness to the law.
Oh.
Adherence to the law. Like you gotta go to that damn mine. Wash yourself in the water. It's only, how are they gonna know? He could like leave
Honor,
and come back.
yes, like
He could just
because he
leave.
told the truth and he
I
expects
know,
like
but
if
my point is though, what if it's another guy? They say, how do you know?
oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's strictly the honor system.
I guess I was not
Oh.
destined to be a Mandalorian because I would be skeptical as shit. Some guy just came back and was like, hey, yeah, I did it. Did you now?
Yeah.
So
I don't know of any of the Mandalorians that can't take their helmets off, and they did say in season 2 of The Mandalorian that
Bo-Katan telling them that
they're like this
you're
rich,
extreme.
crazy group.
Yeah.
So
but they were the ones that survived.
they were, but there were other ones like Bo-Katan and them. But
Yeah, but
after the siege of Mandalore, there weren't very many left.
yeah,
So, and you'll get into that because it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Clone Wars thinking, I just want to get back to the Jedi and Sith. But now when I rewatch with you, I'm going to be a lot more excited.
Amy Sedaris, who has got to be Princess Carolyn.
Do I get any service down here?
Anyway, if we get to a BoJack reaction tonight, we're gonna know.
Yeah.
But it's got to be her. That sounds on point like her. The duel between him and the big toy man.
Pravizela or
Vizsla, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the fight was good. I
It
mean,
was.
and it showed the difference between like a fast, quick, weaker guy and a strong.
Yeah, it's a little
Slower guy.
exaggerated though. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like you look at Game of Thrones, for instance, when they did the mountain.
Yeah.
Like what's his name, Braun made it a point to say he's fast for a big guy.
Yeah.
And that's the idea. Like they don't have to be slow just because they're big.
Yeah, because a bigger engine bigger motor doesn't slow the car down to a certain point.
It just depends on the type of engine, type
Well,
of car. But I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But usually there's different reasons for that. But I mean, I get the idea. It's supposed to be a big guy,
Yeah.
imposing. You think he'd be able to wield that saber? He couldn't wield it as well.
I think it was part of like kind of not the Arthurian, but like some of the fantastical elements. There's some kind of mystical element to the sword that's making it heavy because it's getting heavier as he used it.
I did like the look of the hilt.
Yes.
Compared to most lightsaber hilts you see, by and large, most of them aren't that good looking. Like,
Well,
I don't like the look.
It's
of
a
most
lot
of them.
different. It's like it's like I said, it was forged by a Mandalorian Jedi. It united the Jedi and the Mandalorians, and then of course that didn't last long
Yeah.
because they became bitter enemies after that.
But it still has
Has a
a
unique
really
look.
cool, sleek, unique look.
Yeah.
You compare that to the best looking. What's your favorite look saber? Other than
Probably Luke's. I think Luke's is really cool.
and Luke's new one. In
Luke's in Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think that looks.
It is really cool. It kind of reminds you a lot of Obi-Wan's.
What's weird, I think Obi-Wan in Episode 1, Qui-Gon's, and Darth.
I hate Qui-Gon's.
Yeah, it's like a red button. Like it's
Darth
just-
Maul's, it just seems like you hit those buttons all the fucking time when you're.
I'm not
wielding
in
it.
love with Darth Maul. I mean, I love the idea of it, but like it's just a bunch of red buttons.
I mean, I like Vader's for the classics.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like something would be comfortable in your hand when you're fighting like we do.
No.
But as some guy, it's like part machine. He just like clunks around.
Yeah.
And he never really changes his grip.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
But
Dooku's is I liked it a lot growing up.
It's cool. It's unique,
And I definitely think it's unique.
Yeah.
It just has a lot of that shine that the prequels have to their sabers and technology.
I really like the iconography with like basically the Siege of Mandalore, and then we had all the, I can't remember what they're called, but the K2SO droids.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It looked like you said, Terminator.
I liked it a lot. I love the bombing scenes, the air raids.
Yeah, it was like haunting.
The Imperial bombers.
Yeah.
You see them again because you don't see them that often.
Yeah.
It was cool to see them in action.
What was great is it was to the Mandalorian people, it would be this haunting witch hunt genocide. That's basically what it was. So I think Mandalore, you'll see it in the Clone Wars, and they showed it here. So it used to be this pretty lush planet, and then they had all these fucking civil wars and stuff before they even found space travel. So now there's all these huge domes everywhere, and we see it there, and we see it get bombed. But it's kind of like a Tatooine type planet now, but with domes, and in the domes they have these amazing cities, and the cities you'll see in the next episode of the Clone Wars, they're like very there's all these lines and shapes and squares, and it's very it's kind of like their armor, like our helmets. Like you have all these symmetrical geometry in it.
So it's kind of like the dwarves in Lord of the Rings, like Gimli. They have very rigid.
Yeah, I guess, but
architectures.
the architecture is like that. But they're technologically advanced, and they're a warrior culture by tradition. But during the Clone Wars, at least, there's basically a civil war between the warrior culture and the pacifists. They're officially a pacifist nation, but there's this rising sect of Mandalorians who want to remember the old way, and they're fighting for the soul of Mandalore. And at the same time, there's a galactic war. So it's cool.
If they'd have been united, they might have stand a better chance against the Empire.
They might have, but there's things that happen that are so cool. I'm glad that it went the way it did.
I had droids. What is this, a democracy?
Yeah.
You're droids!
Yeah.
I like that because you told me, like you talked about people that are speculating on the Star Wars universe and how it could never occur because the droids would have had an uprising by now.
Yeah. But
and it's like, well, if you had that level of intelligence and development, like these people developed in a way that we haven't.
yeah, because this is a galaxy a long time ago, far, far away. It's not a future.
Not just that, but like they developed a certain way over a certain period of time. Like they're still experiencing things that, in some ways, we've overcome.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, they are free of a lot of limitations that we have as a culture, as mankind.
It's just a different culture. We have the BD droid, who Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is like just a great game. And when you have a great game with a great story, it's just icing on top of the cake. It has an incredible story within the Star Wars mythos about a teenage Jedi who's kind of working at a junkyard, and he's trying to keep his identity a secret. But then he gets called to a greater calling, and he gets wrapped up in the start of the Galactic Civil War. It's great, but his companion droid is that little BD droid. That's exactly where it originated from. It looked cool. I really like seeing that droid. I love when we have little things like that because, and like you said, it would be great to have a little action figure of him. I think I remember seeing like a resin statue of Cal with a droid beside him, but like an actual cool figure. I don't know.
I want an actual figure of that thing, and I want a model or some kind of fake toy of the N1 custom Naboo Starfighter.
It looked amazing.
That thing looked badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
It did. And just like, because, I mean, Dave Filoni, who's like co-producing this with Jon Favreau and now Robert Rodriguez, they're doing a good job of marrying all the different Star Wars prequel, OT, video game, and it's just like, The things are, they're cool in the original. They're a little yellow, and I know they're like badass in the movie canon. But like that version of it, stripped down and custom, was like one of the coolest things I've seen in the movies or show.
Me too. Like ship designs are not hit and miss in Star Wars. They usually have very heavy pros.
Yeah.
And there's a few cons that stand out.
Yeah.
But overall, a lot of the mechanical designs in Star Wars are pretty sleek.
I like them
and,
a lot.
This N1 custom is badass. The Razor Crest is badass.
Yeah.
The Slave 1 is badass.
What's your favorite? Slave 1
I
or Slave
still
I
like
love
the
the
Slave
X-Wings.
one.
I love
the X-Wings are cool,
Yeah.
but the Slave 1 was my favorite growing up.
I mean, it's fucking cool. I mean, like you said, I can just throw a rock and I'd hit a cool design because there's
There's some of them.
I think the Millennium Falcon
the Y
looks pretty
wings and the B wings.
Yeah.
I can admit they're cool looking,
Yeah.
but they're not really my favorite.
Yeah.
The Naboo Starfighters I didn't particularly like growing up, but
I wasn't
this
in love with
custom is pretty sweet.
I agree. I wasn't in
And,
love with them. That one's cool.
And the Razor Crest is badass.
Yeah.
The TIE Fighters, I even like the TIE Fighters.
I like TIE Fighters. I love Vader's custom one too.
Yeah, they're really cool. Is this episode 5 or 6?
5.
Oh, really? So there's one more episode.
One more.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, thank God. That's pretty much all I have. It was great. Loved it.
I did too.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Good. Guys, thank you so much for watching our reaction. If you like us, you want to support us, just go back and watch all the other things that we do. We're doing Star Wars: The Clone Wars, we're on Samurai Jack, we did Gravity Falls. We also just finished Arcane, one of my favorite shows. Just like and subscribe, hit that notification, leave a comment down below, guys. Peace out. That's it. Now it's been